Hello students, good morning everybody. This is Chiranjeevi, TCT English in Lotus High School. Welcome to Lotus Academy. Today I would like to explain the poem The Trees from First Flight. The Trees poem written by Adriana Rich. Let us know some information about this poetess Adriana Rich. About Adriana Rich. She was born in 1929 in Baltimore. She was the poetess, essayist and feminist, one of America's foremost public intellectuals. Let us see her works. A Change of World, Snapshots of a Daughter-in-Law, Necessities of Life, and she received Bollingen Prize and the Lennon Lifetime Achievement Award. This is the short information about her. And let us go to the poem Trees. Let us see the first stanza of the poem. Let me read the stanza first. Just you follow. The trees inside are moving out into the forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. So let me give the word meanings for this stanza. And we don't find any difficult words in this stanza. So all the words are easier to understand. Let me give a brief explanation about this stanza. So here the speaker observes that the trees inside his house are moving out into the forest. So the trees inside are moving out into the forest. So they have been empty for a long time. So this forest is empty for a long time. Where are these birds and where are these trees? If you observe, these trees are in paintings or pictures. The trees are not moving actually here, but the poet imagines them to do so through an imagery. It is his imagination. It's not the real. It's a fiction, like just it is not true. So if you observe, man is growing small trees, plants and bushes inside his house to create a false impression. So why does he create a false impression? Why can't birds sit on their branches? Because they do not exist physically. So that's why they cannot able to sit on their branches. They are fainted. So that is the reason they can't sit on their branches. Here if you observe, as the forest outside was empty. Why? Because we don't find any insect there, and no insect could hide, nor the sun could be hidden under the shadows of the trees. So the poet feels that the forest outside shall be full of trees in the morning after the trees have moved out there. So what things do not happen in this empty forest? Here we can observe there are no birds, no insects, and no sun in the shadow. So, having nothing inside, that means empty. Everything is empty in the forest. That we can observe from this stanza. Okay, students, let us see the second stanza. Let me read the second stanza, just you follow. All night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. The leaves strain toward the glass, small twigs stiff with exertion, long cramped boughs shuffling under the roof, like newly discharged patients, half-dazed moving to the clinic doors. If you observe the difficult words from the stanza, so exertion means strain. So long cramped means shrunk for long, and shuffling means moving. Half-dazed means half-shocked. So half-dazed means half-shocked. So if you observe the explanation regarding the stanza, so here all night the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks, which means that the poet finds that all night the roots of these trees and plants, they work to get free from the cracks in the veranda floor. Usually all the plants and trees were controlled by the human beings in the houses. So these plants and trees, they want to get freedom. They want to go out of the house. They want to go to the forest to expand themselves. So they need to get liberty from the house. But here the twigs have become very hard due to exertion to get free. Exertion means strain. Because of that strain, so they are very hard enough to get free. So here the longer branches of the trees that have shrunk because of being inside the walls and under the roof also struggle to be free. So these plants are not happy in the house. They want to go to the forest. So in their efforts to go outside into the forest, they are desperate to be free, like the newly discharged patients, to cross out the clinic doors. If you observe in the hospitals, the patients, when they are going to discharge, so they feel very happy. In the same way, these plants are like newly discharged patients. If they go out, here half dazed moving and to the clinic doors. So if you observe, simile figures of speech is used like newly discharged patients. So half dazed moving. So what are bugs compared to here? These bugs compared to newly discharged patients, half dazed moving to clinic doors. So here, why is all this activity taking place here in this stanza? Here, because these leaves and trees are growing naturally. So they need to space. They need some space to grow and expand themselves. So forest is the best place for them to expand themselves. So here, if you observe, so what are the branches compared here? The branches are compared to patients. So they want to get discharged like patients. So we can observe they need some liberty here. So they wanted to get liberty from this stanza. Here, that is the reason here even the figures of speech, simile is used to express, to bring their feelings towards simile figures of speech. So like newly discharged patients, it is compared here like a discharged patients. So here we can observe the long cramped box. So it means clinic doors here. So what does the word shuffling means here? Shuffling means nothing but moving here. So you know that the figures of speech simile is used to bring out the feelings of these trees like newly discharged patients. So the leaves are straying towards the glass, So that is the reason they become very hard. They wanted to get freedom. They want to expand themselves. So they want to go to the forest. They feel lonely. They feel they are almost in solitude. So they want to get freedom from this stanza. Okay, students, let us go to the third stanza of this poem. Let me read the stanza. Just you follow. I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters, in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest from the house. The night is fresh, the whole moon shines in a sky still open, the smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. If you observe from this stanza, the difficult words of this stanza is scarcely means hardly, you know that. The whole moon means the full moon, and lichen means mountain flower. It's a mountain flower, lichens. And whispers, speaking in a low voice, low voices. If you observe from this stanza, I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters. Who is sitting inside the house? The poet is sitting inside the house, and the doors of which open to the veranda. So the doors of the veranda is open, and she is writing long letters in which she doesn't mention the departure of the forest from her house. The poetess is writing long letters in which she doesn't mention the departure of the forest from her house. So, if you observe, the night is fresh. The forest, if you observe, the night is fresh. Okay, it's good. And the whole moon shines in the sky, still open. So, the moon is shining very brightly. And here the poetess is indicating here a possible rebellion against man by nature present in her house in the form of trees, plants, etc. growing there. Here, man versus nature. We can observe man versus nature. So, nature is the gift given by God. Man is also created by God. So, both are important to the society. So, here the controversy between man and nature, man versus nature, can be seen in this stanza. Here, the poetess can smell the leaves and lichens coming from the trees that reach her room like a voice. So, if you observe, the poet can smell the leaves and lichens. These two can be seen by the poet, and the poetess can smell these two leaves and lichens. These two coming from the trees. So these two are usually coming from the trees that reach her room. So these are going to reach her room like a voice. The smell of these reach her room like a voice. Here the poetess observed very clearly the controversy, the man versus nature, the controversy between man and nature. So it is clearly depicted in this stanza. So if you observe, how is the night here? The night is very fresh and pleasant. So here, why is the forest tumbling out of the house? Because the forest is tumbling out of the house for oxygen. So they need air, they need oxygen. So that's why they wanted to stumble out of the house. So this can be seen in this stanza. And also here in this stanza we can observe, so the night is very fresh, and what does the poet do here? Hardly he was doing. So just the poetess writes long letters in which she hardly means the departure of the forest from the house. It's a departure of the forest from the house. So if you observe from this stanza, so the poetess feelings towards nature and man. So man versus nature can be seen, can be depicted in this stanza very clearly. Okay, students, let us see the last stanza of this poem. Let me read, just you watch. My head is full of whispers, which tomorrow will be silent. Listen, the glass is breaking, the trees are stumbling forward into the night. Winds rush to meet them. The moon is broken like a mirror, its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. So, if you observe the difficult words from this stanza, stumbling means false striking something, flash means shine, oak means a tree, and just see the explanation of this stanza. My head is full of whispers which tomorrow will be silent. Here, the poet asks the public, the people, to listen to the voice of the leaves and lichens struggling to go out of the house. These trees are struggling a lot to go out of the house, and the poetess is requesting us. He requests us to listen the voice of the leaves and lichens. Why? Because they are struggling to go out of the house. That is the main reason. She requests us to listen the voice of the flowers and leaves. The voices of the trees stumbling forward into the night. The trees are stumbling forward into the night. What is the voice? Here, the trees are stumbling forward into the night. The sounds, if you observe, these sounds will not be there in the morning. So, morning we don't find this kind of noise or this kind of sound, because as the tree will move out of the house to the forest in the night, so they wanted to move during the night only. So that is the reason we don't hear during the daytime. So here the poetess can hear the glass breaking due to the efforts of the twigs. So because the twigs are very hard, so in this way we can observe, so the glass will break because the twigs became harder. And if you observe, as the glass breaks, the tree also stumbling outside and get struck at different places. So as they go outside, the wind rushes to meet them. So winds rush to meet them. If you observe the fifth line, winds rush to meet them. So they go outside and the wind rush to meet them. So the trees are also, they are so tall that they have broken the moon into pieces like a broken mirror. Even this, the moon is broken like a mirror because of these, because of the trees are too tall, so they can break the moon into pieces like a broken mirror. So the moon seems broken into pieces due to these tall trees coming in between it. So these trees are coming in between this moon. So that's why, so the surface of the earth. So if you observe the surface of the earth, and here the moon seems broken into pieces due to these tall trees coming in between it and the surface of the earth also. The moon now sits like the crowns on the heads of all the trees. Now where is the moon? Just it is on the trees. Just it was sitting on the trees. So here we can observe. So one can see it broken. So broken pieces. So due to the presence of the tall trees. So due to the presence of the tall trees. Why there? And the full moon was there. So full moon is just sitting like a crown on the heads of the trees or the plants. So if you observe, why is the glass breaking? Because glass is broken because of the roots they were growing In such a way they are growing. That is the reason glass was broken. And why are these trees stumbling forward into the night? Because they want to get the oxygen. So that's why they wanted to move. Okay, students, before going to discuss these poetic devices, let me share the central idea of this poem, the trees. So, in this poem, the trees are shown to struggle out of the clutches of the human beings in the form of growing them into the confines of their homes. So, actually, the human beings grow trees, plants in their homes to give the semblance of nature inside their homes. So, this is not nature, as actual nature lies outside into the forest. So there is a kind of conflict between man and nature here. So man creates it artificially through plants and bushes in the pots in his house. The poem tells here how the trees inside the homes so want to break free from the walls and confines them and go back to nature. So trees stand personified here. So we can see the poetic devices here. So simile is used like newly discharged patients we have seen, like as such as these words belong to the simile, the poetic device. Still reaches like a voice into the rooms we have seen in the poem, and the moon is broken like a mirror. So imagery is also seen. Its pieces splashed now in the crown of the tallest oak. It's imagery of the crown and the tree. Oak tree is also included in this. So this is the central idea of the poem along with the poetic devices. I hope you have understood the poem. So let me give the home task, home assignment. So page your golden guide page number 309, short answer type questions 1 to 5. So the page number 309 from golden guide, short answers 1 2 3 4 5. So write it one time. So write those questions one time. Page number 309 from your golden guide. Thank you. Thank you very much.